It's late and you're still working, not because anyone's forcing you, because the second you try to stop, you feel worse. Maybe someone asked you to sit down with them an hour ago and you said, "In a minute." You meant it, but the minute never came. Most people would call this discipline, a strong work ethic. The people around you probably praise you for it. But there's a question nobody asks people like this. What happens in the first 10 seconds after you actually stop? If the answer is a rush of worry, money, bills, the feeling that you're falling behind just by sitting there, then this isn't really discipline. It's something else wearing discipline's face. Researchers have studied that something else for decades, and this video is about what they found. There's one thing near the end about the people you love that might take a weight off you. First, some relief. You're probably not a workaholic. The researchers who defined that word are clear about one thing. Working long hours because money is tight does not make you an addict. Your pressure is real, your math is real, but they also built a checklist for when work turns into something different. A few of the questions on it go like this. Do you work to escape feelings of guilt or anxiety? Do you feel guilty when you're not working? If those land a little too close, keep watching, because the problem was never how many hours you work. It's what those hours are doing for you. Here's the first piece. When you're working, the worry gets quiet, not gone. Quiet. Because working feels like doing something about the problem, and doing something takes the edge off the fear. The worry rises, you work, the worry settles. Do that enough times and your brain learns one simple rule. Work is what makes the bad feeling stop. There's a name for this. Negative reinforcement. It's the same mechanism behind every addiction. The relief is real, so you reach for it again, whether or not anything actually got better. And here's the trap researchers keep finding. The relief is the hook. It feels like progress, so you keep going, even when the work isn't changing your situation at all. Part of you might even like it, and that's real too. Something can feel genuinely good and be a cage at the same time. One study followed a few hundred people for 6 months. The ones caught in this pattern didn't work their way to peace. 6 months later, they were working more, driven by guilt and enjoying it less. The work didn't drain the anxiety, it fed it. The second piece explains something you might feel but struggle to put into words. Why you can be right there in the room with someone and still not really be there. Two researchers, Sendil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir, spent years studying what being short on money does to the mind. They found that money worry doesn't wait for a good time. In their experiments, people who were financially stretched kept having money thoughts surface during tasks that had nothing to do with money. When they were told to push those thoughts away, they couldn't. Their estimate was hard to ignore. Serious money pressure takes up about as much of your mental capacity as going a full night without sleep. Around 13 IQ points. Every day. So if you're sitting with someone you love and your mind keeps sliding back to the bills, that's not a sign you don't care. It's a mind running under a heavy load, doing what any mind does under that load. They call it tunneling. Everything outside the emergency, rest, play, the people in front of you, goes quiet and far away. Those things didn't stop mattering. Your attention just isn't fully yours right now. There's often a third piece, and it makes the work even harder to put down. For a lot of people, work is also a bet. You try a new approach, take on the extra client, chase the bigger sale, put yourself out there one more time, and part of you thinks, maybe this is the one that pays off. Usually it isn't. Sometimes it comes close. And the close calls are the worst ones. A flat no you shake off by morning. The deal that almost closed, the chance that almost came through, that one you replay for days. It's the same thing that keeps people sitting at slot machines, not the wins, the near misses. And underneath it, for a lot of people, sits a quiet belief that they're just not good with money, that it comes harder for them than for everyone else. So every setback feels like proof. The number you keep checking, your sales, your balance, the payment that still hasn't landed, stops being information and starts being a judgment. Not on your work, on you. That's the real reason it's so hard to look away. You're not just waiting for money, you're waiting for a number to finally tell you you're okay. And no number has ever learned how to say that. Now the part the grind really doesn't want you to see. It doesn't even work. When researchers combine studies across thousands of people, all that compulsive overworking shows almost no connection to actually performing better. What it connects to strongly is burnout, stress, and conflict at home. Even in plain terms of output, economists found a ceiling. Past about 50 hours a week, each extra hour produces less and eventually almost nothing. And fully switching off after work doesn't hurt your performance at all. It only lowers your exhaustion. So the story the anxiety tells you, that every extra hour is survival, that you can't afford to stop, the evidence just doesn't support it. The hours past that ceiling buy you relief, not results. And you pay for them twice. Once with your health and once with the people waiting on the other side of the door. Which brings us to the hardest part. It's about the people closest to you. Maybe your kids, maybe a partner, maybe a friend who slowly stopped reaching out. Researchers who study families under financial strain found that money trouble doesn't reach the people you love through your bank account. It reaches them through you. The stress makes you distracted, drained, checked out. And that, not the money itself, is what they feel. Not the debt. The distance. If you have kids, stay with me, because there's a finding here that might be the kindest thing in all of this. One large study tracked over 1,600 children and carefully measured how much time their parents spent with them. It turned out the sheer amount of time made no real difference in how those kids turned out. The hours weren't the thing. What mattered was the quality of the moments that actually happened. Your worry is very good at stealing your hours. But it can't touch a single moment you decide to be fully present for, and that one moment is worth more than all the hours you spend nearby but somewhere else. I'm not going to give you a list of things to do tonight, partly because you didn't come here for a lecture, and partly because, for people under real money stress, the quick fixes mostly don't work. Researchers have tested them. Simple confidence exercises, the kind self-help loves, the write down your strengths sort of thing. On people who were genuinely struggling, they did nothing. One study found they even backfired and left people feeling worse. So instead, just a clearer way to see what's happening. The discipline is real. That part isn't in question. What's worth knowing is that some of it was never really discipline. It's a way to keep a feeling at a distance. When it seems like you're failing the people you love, it helps to remember that the stress is doing that, not your heart. And the stress has a real weight you can finally name. When you can't sit still, that's not a flaw in you. It's a loop, and a loop can be noticed and broken. And the number you keep chasing, the one that's supposed to finally make you feel like enough, it can't. It was never able to. All it knows how to do is ask for one more try. So the next time it's late and the work is still there and the worry rushes in the moment you stop, you don't have to fight it. You just have to see it for what it is. The quiet that work hands you, the load you're carrying, the bet you keep making, the way a hard month turns into a hard thought about yourself. The work will still be there in a minute. That's fine. But now you know the truth about that minute, the one where you close the laptop and go be with someone. It isn't the thing standing between you and getting by. It's the thing the grind keeps quietly taking while telling you it was worth it. It wasn't. Go take the minute.